Hello everyone, this is Linkmas Prime, and today we are taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series number 109 Bumblebee movie, Megatron. This figure was one that I was super excited for when it was first announced, and I have to say that it lives up to the hype. Now, there are a few issues on this figure, but I will get into those in a bit. To start off with, the overall design of this character is utter perfection in my opinion. The only thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is the face design, mainly due to the fact that it looks like a grandpa and a baby mixed into one weird amalgamation of just utter cursedness. But besides the face, this figure is full of amazing detail, paint apps, and has an overall perfect physique. Looking at the sculpt work, we have a ton of molded and mechanical details all throughout the body. There are these rivet-like details in the chest, front skirts, and knees. We have a lot of molded panels in the shoulders, and the rest of the detail is honestly hard to describe due to its alien-like nature. Unfortunately, all of these details from the front fall short on the back for whatever reason. It just lacks in detail. I mean, to be fair, no one's really going to be looking at the back, but it's still a bit awkward compared to the rest of the design. But one thing that helps to make all these details pop is the absolutely amazing paint job. There are lots of areas of dark gray unpainted plastic, but that does help the contrast with the paintwork that is there. And besides that, majority of the figure itself is covered in silver paint. We get it on his head, chest, shoulders, forearms, legs, knees, and feet. We also get some glossy red highlights on the biceps, knees, and these little bits on the chest, and it all looks great. There is a Decepticon logo tamper-graphed onto the chest, but unfortunately it was applied a little bit crooked, which kinda sucks. Another QC issue I have on my copy is that one of the panels on the arms is a copied piece from the other side. In short, he has two right arm panels, and this did unfortunately hinder the transformation with the hand. I was, however, able to fix this issue by cutting off a little bit of the lip right here, and in terms of QC, those are the only problems that I could really at least see on my copy. But the rest of this figure is solid in almost every way possible. Also, as far as I'm aware, this is the only Bumblebee movie design that wasn't based on the two main bodies that were used in the actual film. In this case, it would have been based off of Optimus Prime's body, but this is a completely new structure as far as I can tell. The only similarities I can really see on this design is the back as well as the back of the thighs, but that's about it. As far as I can tell, this design is entirely new, and I'm happy about that because it means that it has its own individuality. Now, the only accessory this figure comes with is his fusion cannon, and in my opinion, this is a bit underwhelming. I wish the barrel could have been a bit bigger considering how incredibly fat the other end of this is. It honestly looks better attached to the back, but then he doesn't have a fusion cannon if you do that. So in this case, you would have to sell for a third-party upgrade, which I don't buy those because I think it's ridiculous that upgrade kits cost more than the figures they're upgrading. To be honest, the fusion cannon isn't a huge deal, but I still do wish it was a bit bigger. The other thing about this fusion cannon that is a bit confusing to me is the fact that it has transformation gimmicks that don't actually incorporate into the vehicle modes, but I will get into that in a bit. Now, when it comes to Megatron's articulation, it is definitely some of the best and most dynamic out of most of the Studio Series figures I've handled. We get a ball joint in the head, which allows him to look up and down as well as all the way around, which is very nice. The arms can rotate all the way around as well. We also get a very nice butterfly joint, which is really cool. Shoulder moves out all the way like so. Rotation at the bicep. A very nice bend at the elbow, as well as a swivel in the elbow, which is more so for transformation, but also just to, if you want to pull off poses where he kind of has his arm like that, you can have the option to do so, which is very cool. The hand can move up and down as well as rotate all the way around like so, and the fingers are on quite a few hinge joints. We kind of have like a masterpiece style kind of joint system going on here. So we get a joint in these fingers right here as well as in the actual knuckle, and the index finger is actually individual, and it does have rotation in that little joint right there. So that is very cool. We've definitely never seen that kind of articulation in the hands on a Studio Series figure before, so that's great. We get full rotation at the waist. I do kind of wish that there was maybe some kind of ab crunch, maybe just even a little bit, considering the fact that, Studio Series 102 was able to accomplish that, but, And also considering the fact that that's a Voyager too, so, and there's a leader, so I don't know. Then we do, of course, the side skirts can move out and they can rotate back, so that does accommodate for lots of outward range, which is really cool, and also range going back, so that's also very nice. But these front skirts do move forward. You can get a full kick, which is very far up, which is really cool. Closing that back up, we get a swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, way over 90 degrees as far as you can see, and we also get this little knee joint thing right here, which kind of comes out a little too far, and it kind of leaves some open kind of gappage here, so I don't really utilize this, but that is a neat touch that they did include that. And of course in the foot we get, you know, up and down at the ankle, as well as a very nice ankle pivot, but nothing really too much to the side. I feel like that would be nice if it went a little farther out to accommodate for like one-legged poses, but hey, not a huge deal. Overall, the articulation is very, very nice. Now for a quick size comparison, here we have Megatron next to the last Bumblebee movie Studio Series figure I reviewed, the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Shockwave, Rise of the Beast Scourge, Reactivate Optimus Prime, Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. I really wish the Bumblebee movie Prime fit better with this Megatron figure, but unfortunately, due to its lack of accuracy and also being outdated, the Rise of the Beast figure just pairs better in my opinion, and I think that's mainly due to the newer engineering and design elements. Now I feel like I've talked about the robot mode as much as I wanted to, so let us get down to the transformation. And before I continue, I should mention that this is a triple changer, so the first mode we're going to look at is the tank mode. And here we have Megatron in his tank mode, and I honestly have to say that this is my favorite alt mode out of the two. It's definitely not the most ideal as a tank, but it definitely is believable as a Cybertronian alt mode. I really like how nice and compact he feels. Nothing feels like it wants to untab or come undone, which is perfect. Overall, everything in this mode feels solid. The one thing a lot of people tend to have an issue with are these treads that slide down from the thighs, but fortunately for my copy, they do stay up pretty well. There's not really much I can go over that I haven't already gone over within the robot mode. While this looks like a tank, it's still very believable that it's a transformer. Nothing necessarily gets hidden in these modes besides certain robot bits like the head or the hands, for example. Also, another unfortunate thing is this guy doesn't roll well. He has molded wheels at the bottom of the tank, but they don't actually move, which kinda sucks. But at this point, I feel like it's safe to say that we can move on to the jet mode, which has to be my least favorite out of these two. Now, when moving the leg up, it doesn't actually tab in anywhere. The only thing that holds it into place is just this little tiny tab right here that just pegs in. That's all that's holding it in place, is just that. And here we have him in his jet mode, and I honestly have to say that getting into this mode is a lot more of a struggle compared to getting him into tank mode. There's certain areas that just don't like to line up, and I know they do line up, but it takes some patience in fitting things into specific areas to get it to stay put. Unfortunately, this is the most unstable mode out of the two, since certain things feel like they want to untab. The overall look of the jet is pretty cool in my opinion, however it reminds me more of a squat 2007 jet mode, and also less alien. And I would get into the fan modes, but I don't really care. Megatron here has some elements that I'm not the biggest fan of. The transformation could have been improved in my opinion, but as a robot, that's where he stands tall the most. The articulation is amazing, he can pull off a lot of great dynamic poses, the detail and paintwork is fantastic to say the least. The QC issues that I have on mine do somewhat suck, but one of them was at least manageable, which is good. I would still definitely say that this is my favorite Studio Series Megatron, and honestly my favorite movie Megatron figure in general. I would highly recommend picking this guy up as he fits very well into the Bumblebee movie collection of Decepticons from Studio Series, and for a $55 price point, I would say that he is definitely worth it. But anyways guys, that is about it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.